Beautiful. So this P stands for the perimeter of the base. So I'm going to just go ahead and find that. So P stands for the perimeter of the base. Now, remember, last class I told you, I think what would benefit you the most is to draw out your base on the side. So I'm going to highlight my base first. No, don't leave. Oh, never mind. I forgot I had some high schoolers on here. All right, so I'm going to draw my base to the side. And it's an 8x4 rectangle. How do I find the perimeter of it? Add up all the sides. So the perimeter would equal 8 plus 8 plus 4 plus 4, which is 24. Cool. All right, someone different. What did that H stand for? The height. And what is the height of my prism? Perfect. So H stood for the height. My height is this 5.5 from the base to base. So H stands for height, and the height equals 5.5. And Mia, what did that capital B stand for? What about the base? Beautiful. And capital B stands for the area of the base. So my base, I drew it out to the side. So all I got to do is look at what I drew out. And how do I find the area of this? Length times width, 8 times 4. So my capital B would be 8 times 4, which is 32. So I have my P, I have my H, I have my B. So all I got to do is plug all this into the formula. So S equals P times H plus 2 times B. And when I do all that, you should have gotten, did y'all get 196? Awesome. Millimeters squared. Okay. So this is what we learned from last class. This should be an S. I don't know what that looks like. This is what we learned from last class. If there's confusion, I need to know ahora, now, because I need to make sure I address that before we move on today. Okay, so it's pretty much draw your base out, find the perimeter of it, find the area of it, and here's the height. Okay. All right. Good things. Good things. Make sure you write in those dimensions as well. Good morning. All right. So for a triangular prism, the formula for lateral and total surface area is the same as a rectangular prism. So for a triangular prism, the formula is S equals PH for lateral surface area and S equals PH plus 2B for total surface area. So the same two formulas like last class. On your formula chart, it will just say prisms. It won't say triangular prism and rectangular prism. It'll just say prisms. Can we get a reminder? What is lateral surface area? versus total surface area? Perfect. So lateral surface area is the area of all my sides, not including the bases. Total surface area is the area of all the sides, including the bases. Okay? So we know we're going to have to find the P, we know we're going to have to find the H, and we know we're going to have to find the capital B. So we're just going to find all three of these things, and then we're going to find our lateral and total surface area. Okay? Again, this one, I need to add in a number here. So add in 6 centimeters right here on your paper. So just like the rectangular prism, I highly suggest you highlight your base. On a triangular prism, the triangle, I did not want that in black. The triangles are your bases. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you take. They're both the same triangles, okay? So I'm gonna highlight my base, just like we did with the rectangular prism, and I'm gonna draw it out on the side. And I'm gonna write down all the parts of my triangle. What is the bottom or the base of the triangle? 5 centimeters, And what is the sides of the triangle? 6. And that 4 in the middle here, what do you think that represents? So this is actually represents the height of my triangle. Okay. So go ahead and write all that in because all that information is important. Okay. I'm going to go very slowly. If you have a question, I need you to unmute and say something or raise your hand in the classroom. Okay, so the first thing I did is I drew out my base because I like to look at this rather than look at this whole thing because it gets me confused. So the first thing we're going to do is find our capital P. Again, capital P is the perimeter of the base. So I have a triangle over here. And I need to find the perimeter of it. How would I find the perimeter of my triangle? Add up all the sides. Now, this is where people get confused. They add 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4. Is 4 a side? No, 4 is in the inside. It's the height. And there's only 3 sides in a triangle. So there should only be 3 sides you're adding up. So it's only the outside edges that you're adding. So my perimeter would be 6 plus 6 plus 5. I'm adding up all the sides of my triangle. 6 plus 6 plus 5, which equals 17. Okay, I'm gonna pause. Anyone not understand how to find the perimeter of the base? Okay, we're gonna move on to the height now. Now, this is very important. Does anyone remember the definition? It's height, but what was that later part that I added to it? From base to base. It's my height from base to base. From base to base. The height of the prism from base to base. My bases are the triangles. So what is the height from base to base? From triangle to triangle, 8. So from base to base, my height of my prism is 8 centimeters. You kind of think of tipping this onto the triangle. The height of the prism would be 8 centimeters. So my height of my prism, my height from base to base is 8 centimeters. Why does this get confusing? Because there's 2 heights, right? You have the 8 centimeters and then you have the 4 centimeters, the height of the triangle. So people get confused with which one to use. But for this H, it's the height from base to base. So from triangle to triangle. And then my last thing I need to find is my capital B. Capital B is the area of the base. Area of the base. So I'm looking at my triangle again. If we had our formula charts in front of us, which sorry, I keep forgetting to print them out, I would ask you to find what does it say for the area of a triangle. Well, on your formula chart, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. For the area of a triangle, the formula is 1/2 base times height. And notice this is a little b. So this is actually just talking about the base. Okay. People get confused here with the height again, because they're like, well, which height do I use? Remember, this is the area of the base. So all I'm looking at right now is my base, the base that I drew out. Okay. So on this triangle, what is the base of the triangle? 5. And what is the height of the triangle? 4. So I'm going to do 1/2 5 times 4. Because my base is 5 and my height of my triangle is 4. And if you want to put 1/2 as 0.5, that's fine. But 1/2 times 5 times 4?
I have a question.
Yes.
Since the I can hear myself echoing. Anyways, okay. So my brain is like, okay, wait, okay. So you don't do you necessarily have to like divide it by 2? I mean, yeah, divide it by 2. Is that the thing?
Okay, so Esther, because I know that you are super brained, technically, no. Like, let's say, but I want everyone else to ignore me if you do not listen to what I'm saying. But Esther, to answer your question, technically no, because I'm 1/2ing this, but I'm ending up multiplying it by 2 in the first place. So I could just get rid of the 2 and just do 5 times 4. Yes. Was that your question?
Yes, that was my question.
Yes. Like, okay, but everyone else, if you did not get it. Yes. So if you did not understand anything, I just do not let that confuse you. Ignore everything I just said, okay? All right, so 1/2, 5 times 4 is 10. Okay, so my area of my base is 10. Now I have my P, I have my H, and I have my capital B. So all I'm doing now is plugging it into the formulas. So for lateral surface area, S equals capital P times H. Our perimeter of our base was 17. The height from base to base was 8. So whatever that gives us, 17 times 8. Is 136 centimeters squared. And then for total surface area, I'm doing the same thing. S equals capital P times H plus 2 times B. And that should give you 156 centimeters squared. All right. Now I got to have some questions. No? No questions? Mia? Okay, so the 1/2 right here is this is the formula on the formula chart. So for the area of a triangle, this is our formula, 1/2 base times height. But like, I think what you're noticing is, but we're multiplying it by 2 again. So why did we have to 1/2 it? If you understand that connection, then technically you don't. But for everybody else who doesn't see it, which is fine. If you don't see it, that's fine. You need to do the area of the base. Because on your formula chart, you're going to see this 1/2 base times height. You're going to put it all in and get this. And then you're going to plug it back into your formula. Okay. But if you notice, you see the connection, then technically you wouldn't have to. Okay. But this is what's on your formula. This is what's on your formula chart. So that's why I do all of this. All right. We're going to do another example. Okay. Because these are hard, much harder than the rectangular prism. Okay. All right. So yes, this is the last one. Now, I'm going to walk you through this one because it's a different type of triangle now. What kind of triangle is it? It's a right triangle. Okay. So this is a right triangle. And I'm going to add in something again. Okay. So I'm going to add in, let's say this is 7 centimeters. Okay. So go ahead and draw this right triangle and then we'll get started. Right triangular prism. All right. Now, technically, if these are right triangles, did I have to give you the hypotenuse? No, right? We could have, so on a advanced test, they might leave this blank and you have to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find what this is before you even get started. But I'm not going to give you that super advanced right now. Okay, we're just going to do the basics. Okay, so same thing we've been doing. I'm going to highlight my base. My base is the triangle because these are triangular prisms. Sorry, I'm really particular about my colors. Okay, and then I'm going to draw it out on the side. So it's a 2 by 5 by 7. Okay, is everyone here? All right, so we're going to just go ahead and find our P, H, and B. Okay, that's what we're going to find first. So let's go ahead and find our P. Capital P again stands for the perimeter of the base. Here is my base. So how would I find the perimeter of my base? Perfect. So just add up all the sides. 7 plus 5 plus 2. Okay. So these were the outer edges of my triangle, 5, 7, and 2. So I just add these up, 5 plus 7 plus 2. Let me pause. Any questions about the perimeter of the base? Okay. Next thing I know we're gonna have to find is H, which is the height from base to base. And you do not have to keep writing what they are. I'm just doing this to help solidify it. So height from base to base. So it's the height from base to base, the height of the prism from base to base, from triangle to triangle. What is the height of my prism? 10. So the height equals 10 centimeters. So from base to base. All right. And then the last thing I need to find is my capital B, which is the area of the base. Area of the base. My base is a triangle, so I use what my formula chart gives me. The area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So this is the part that for right triangles, people get confused on, okay? So I don't want to go too fast where you're not able to comprehend what I'm saying. So 1/2 base times height. What is the base of my triangle? 2. What is the height of my triangle? 5 is the height of my triangle, okay? And this is why. So do not draw this on your paper. But if this was a regular triangle, the 5 would be in the middle of the triangle and be representing the height, okay? So that's why the 5 is the height. The 7 is not the height, okay? Let me erase that. So 1/2, 2 times 5, which would be 5. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about, though. Okay, so we have our P, we have our H, and we have our B. So now it's just plugging into our formula. The lateral surface area is S equals PH. So S equals, the P was 14, the H was 10. So that gives us 140 centimeters squared. Yes, baby. Why wouldn't the H be 5? Because it's like the height. Yeah, so H is the height from base to base. So if our triangles are the bases, from triangle to triangle, the height is 10. If I wish I had like a triangular prism with me, like let's say this was a triangular prism and the triangle was here and the triangle was here. Well, if I actually put it on its side where the bases were actually on the bottom and top, this would be the height of the prism. Okay, so maybe next time I'll actually bring a triangular prism. So I think one thing to remember when you do total surface area, you're going to use both heights, the height of the prism and the height of the triangle. But you only use the height of the triangle for the area of the base. For total surface area, S equals PH plus 2B. So S equals 14 times 10 plus 2 times 5. And that should get you 150 centimeters squared. Okay, kind of hard, huh? Yeah. Virtual students, can I get some feedback? What do y'all think? Is it? You can give me that thumbs up. Give me that thumbs up if you feel comfortable, virtual students. All right. So we're about halfway comprehension. That's good. All right, so